The number one question I get asked as a growth marketer, and just a marketer in general. The number one question I get asked is, what channel should I be on? I've been asked this question usually by a founder or by someone who's not necessarily in marketing, because typically marketing people know better. I see this question as a little bit of a red flag. And before you get all up in arms, like, again, it depends on what position you're in. If you're a marketer asking me this question, this would be a totally different conversation. What I find is when people ask me this question, it's a flag to me that potentially they don't have a clear strategy for their marketing. I mean, they're just trying to like throw anything at it. And they're like, maybe I should be on Facebook. Should I be on all the channels? Should I be on TikTok? Like it's often that kind of a question. And if we're talking at the granular channel level, you need to have more strategy behind it. So I usually turn it around at this point, and ask some questions of my own. So these are the four things, really, four things that you need to consider before you're asking the question about channels, worrying about what channel you need to be on, and they'll answer the question for you. So number one is, what are your goals? And that can be, it's usually like what you need to worry about is at the company level. Is it revenue growth? Is it more subscribers? Is it, what is the thing that you need doing within your company? And then what is your number one challenge right now as a company? Are you having to educate people on your brand, and the education process is really slowing down the sales cycle? Is it that people are coming in ready to convert, but you don't have like a great awareness funnel? Like, what's your biggest challenge within your business as a whole? Is it product challenges? Like, what are they? So those are the two things that really you need to figure out. Otherwise, if you don't have like a reason for what you're doing your marketing for, you're just gonna kind of be doing it. Number two, where do your customers live online? So this is a question I ask people, and they don't always have an answer. And so even is your customer, your ideal customer profile is usually what we'll call it, or your persona. You can have more than one. Where are they online? And this can be in their professional life, day to day. If they're, a B2B marketer, it might be LinkedIn. But it could be in their personal life. Essentially, they don't spend a lot of time online in the day, but at night, all of their friends are on Facebook or Instagram, or they're always on TikTok. That's how you can kind of start to distill it down. And if you don't know the answer to that, it's time to start talking to your customers or people who you would want to be your customer. So that's the second question. And then the third question, which kind of is a part of number two, but we're going to call it number three, is what challenge are you solving for those customer profiles? Again, there can be more than one, but really you should have a really clear challenge that your product or service or business is solving for someone, even if it's entertainment. There has to be a reason d'etre. God, that was bad French. Definitely have to edit that out. But what are you doing for someone? And not just, this is a mistake or like a trap I find a lot of people fall into, is like, you think you're doing something for someone, or you set up your company, and then when you actually go talk to them, you find out that they actually love you for a totally different reason, for your actual paying customers. So go talk to your paying customers, ask them what they like about you and what they're using your service for. And that will help you answer the question of what challenge are you solving? And that's a really, really big one. And then number four in the questions is, what's your budget? And or how much time do you have to commit to these channels? So those, how much time is really going to depict, and how much money is going to depict also where you should live, because certain channels take more time, they take more written content or more video content, or they take more expertise, and you're going to need to hire that in. You got to figure out what that budget is and what that time commitment is. And then what I'll say about that is, if you don't have the answers to those four questions are imperative. And if you don't have the answers to all four of them, you are not ready to have a channel conversation. So go out there, run a survey, talk to some customers, talk at your senior leadership level about your goals for the business, and then come back and you can watch part two when you have figured out the answer to all four of those questions.